I'm sure that's made an enormous difference to her ability to cope.
Although the British royal family has long been the scene of covert power struggles and unspoken alliances, few occasions have better conveyed the tensions beneath the surface than the most recent official photo session at Buckingham Palace. King Charles stands with his heir, Prince William, the ever-poised Princess of Wales, Catherine and his unwavering sister, Princess Anne, at the very center of a powerful picture that has people all over the world talking. Queen Camilla, who has supported Charles through decades of scandal and success, is not depicted in this meticulously crafted image. Palace insider rumors indicate that this was more than just a scheduling error or problem. Rather, it suggests a purposeful exclusion that was planned by Princess Anne, the stern royal who is renowned for her unwavering commitment to custom and procedure. The family's private get-together in Balmoral in early September 2025 served as the backdrop for this photo session, which was intended to represent solidarity during a period of change for the monarchy. However, the picture depicts fissures concealed under Polish smiles, telling a different message. Why would Anne, who is frequently praised for being the most diligent royal, dare to put her brother's wife in the background? What impact does this have on the House of Windsor's precarious power structure? It becomes evident that this is more than just a family portrait as the audience analyses every aspect of the image, from Camilla's bright emission to Anne's central placement. It is a proclamation, a minor but profound change in the royal story that has watchers wondering what will happen to Camilla's position at the center of the kingdom in the future. The royal family has had to deal with scandals, health issues, and generational differences for many years. However, this exclusion seems intimate. With more engagements than the majority of her relatives combined, Princess Anne, 75, continues to be a pillar of devotion. Because of her lifelong service and her special relationship with her brother, the king, she has a modest but unwavering influence. Contrarily, Camilla has worked hard to gain her position and has gone from being the despised other woman to the queen consort. But old grudges don't go away easily. Additionally, emotions that have been building may explode during this photo shoot. As the layers are removed, the story shows a struggle for the very essence of the monarchy, not merely a conflict between people. On September 15, 2025, the picture in question subtly surfaced on the royal family's official Instagram account. Just a family time at Balmoral captioned. But the drama is hidden by simplicity. The image, taken by a dependable palace photographer, features King Charles wearing a tweed jacket, grinning broadly as he clasps arms with William and Catherine on one side, and Anne standing tall in the center, her face displaying a look of subdued power. Notably missing is any indication of Camilla, who was rumored to have been at the estate that same weekend. The Scottish Highlands provide a magnificent backdrop that evokes memories of warmer family get-togethers under Queen Elizabeth II. The oddity was immediately noticed by royal observers. Earlier in June 2025, the entire lineup, including Camilla riding in a carriage with Charles, was included in Trooping the Colour. She joined him at Windsor for Easter services in April. She even wore velvet robes to the June Garter Day ceremonies, as shown in pictures from Windsor Castle. What is the reason behind this exclusion? According to sources close to the palace, Anne came up with the idea to have a family photo shoot to commemorate the 3rd anniversary of Elizabeth's death. Allegedly, Anne, who has always placed a higher priority on blood ties in royal affairs, vetoed Camilla's inclusion by insisting on a composition that emphasized the direct line and her own crucial role. Photographs have already alluded to divisions. When Camilla tried a casual gesture at a state banquet in 2024, Anne was observed strictly following procedure and refusing to break ranks. This Balmoral shoot, however, seems more focused. According to palace assistants, it is a calculated framing in which Anne's centrality emphasizes her role as the unofficial keeper of customs. According to reports, the decision was made following a heated discussion over simplifying public appearances at a private family gathering. Anne's protective tendencies might have prompted her to create a picture that conveys strength without what she believes to be needless complexities, given Charles's ongoing health issues following his 2024 cancer diagnosis. The long-standing dynamics between Anne and Camilla must be examined in order to comprehend her alleged ban. Born in 1950 at the center of the monarchy, Princess Anne has always lived according to her parents' austere duty-first philosophy. She focused on charitable work and equestrian activities while navigating her own marital turbulence in the 1980s and 1990s, emerging unharmed in the eyes of the public. Camilla's admission into the royal family as a result of her affair with Charles in the 1970s symbolized all that was supposedly hated. The stability of the family is upset, and Diana's memory is put to the test. Early conflicts with Anne, who saw Camilla as an intruder, are highlighted by biographers such as Tina Brown in her 2022 book, The Palace Papers. Recent narratives, like the one in Robert Hardman's 2024 biography of Charles, highlight Anne's hesitation to accept Camilla's accession to the throne. When Camilla proposed a deviation during a combined engagement in Hampshire in November 2020, P4 Anne insisted on following protocol. This incident made headlines since Anne wouldn't allow Camilla to disobey the rules. Tabloid reports that Anne influenced decrees that excluded Camilla's name, as evidenced by August films that went viral and claimed she was removed from official documents signed by Charles and Anne, intensified this trend in 2025. The conflicts are ideological in nature rather than merely personal. Camilla's presence broadens the circle to include her own family links, such as her son Tom Parker BS's growing prominence, while Anne advocates for a more condensed monarchy focused on blood royals. According to insider rumors, Anne feels that this compromises the institution's integrity, which is why she made the bold decision during the photo session. The public is now forced to face the uncomfortable alliance at the top after what started out as subtle snubs became a visual message. Why does Princess Anne supposedly have the power to ban Camilla? Fundamentally, Anne is the enforcer of the royal family, a function that she has developed over many years. Being Elizabeth and Philip's only daughter, she has a close relationship with Charles and frequently counsels him on traditional issues. Anne's voice is given more weight in 2025, when William is getting ready for his next reign and Charles is concentrating on his recuperation. According to palace sources, she suggested the photo session as a means of reintroducing the story of the king, Catherine, William, and herself as the working royals who represent continuity. Her flawless record gives her this authority. Anne exceeded even William with almost 400 engagements in 2024 alone. Camilla's more glitzy public presence, which some perceive as artificial, stands in stark contrast to her straightforward style. According to reports from September 2025, there was a claim that Camilla's presence would muddy the message of togetherness, particularly in light of concerns about her health or duty-related exhaustion. Princess Anne finally exposes Camilla's dark royal secret-fueled speculation, claiming Anne cited past controversies to justify the exclusion. But is this ban a one-off or part of a pattern? A September 25th YouTube video? Anne's history of standing her ground, such as her 2020 refusal to curtsy to Camilla in certain contexts, suggests it's intentional. Anne might redefine Camilla's position by putting herself at the center and indicating her guardianship over the monarchy's image. The entire family is impacted by the photo-oot, not just Anne and Camilla. During his Balmoral retreat, King Charles, who was torn between his sister and wife, reportedly authorized the arrangement to prevent conflict and put peace first. Insiders, however, observe his uneasiness as his attempts to fully integrate Camilla since their 2005 marriage are thwarted by her absence. Prominently displayed as beneficiaries are Prince William and Catherine. Anne is pragmatic and shares William's vision for a contemporary monarchy, and their tight relationship grew stronger during Anne's 2024 cancer fight. In contrast to the family's conflicts, a Cosmopolitan piece from October 2025 features a PDA moment between William and Catherine. However, Camilla's fans might get resentful of this exclusion, which could cause tension with her kids. The public's response has been conflicting. With hashtags like Su Anves Camilla trending on social media, some people applauded Anne's traditionalism while others denounced it as trivial. According to a YouGov poll conducted in late September 2025, the photographs were revealed at the same time as Camilla's approval ratings declined, indicating that the ban had widened already existing rifts. From a controversial person to a revered queen consort, Queen Camilla has spent decades establishing herself within the British royal family. However, the omission from the Balmoral picture shoot in September 2025 feels like a cruel reprimand that might destroy her hard-won credibility. Camilla, who is 78, has endured public disdain, particularly during the Diana era, and has become an advocate for issues such as domestic abuse and literacy. Her dedication was demonstrated by her 2025 schedule, which was jam-packed with activities including hosting abuse survivors at Clarence House and establishing a library in Cornwall. However, her significance is shadowed by her absence from this important family portrait, which was purportedly done at Princess Anne's request. Insiders disclose Camilla's personal upset, with one insider stating that she felt caught off guard by Anne's move and questioned its usefulness in private discussions. With aides, she has remained composed in public, smiling for the cameras at a literary festival in Oxford in early October while avoiding inquiries about the snub. But you can feel the ache. A pattern of marginalization is shown by social media posts from August 2025 that mention her omission from a royal patron decree, which heightens rumors of a larger effort to discredit her. Resilience has been a defining characteristic of Camilla's path from reviled other woman to queen. Her marriage to Charles in 2005 was a sea change, and she worked quietly for years to gain the public's approval. Her efforts were rewarded by a 55% approval rating in a July 2025 YouGov poll, but this exclusion runs the risk of rekindling old scars and bringing back memories of tabloid hate from the 1990s. Family. Pressure increased when her son Tom Parker BS came under fire for promoting a cookbook in 2025 and strictly followed protocol. Thus, Camilla's attempts to connect with her, such as a combined appearance at a horse trials event in 2024, were frequently received with cold formality. Anne's perception of Camilla as a consort rather than core royalty may be reflected in the Photoshoot ban. Historical parallels that allude to ingrained hierarchies include Queen Elizabeth and the Queen Mother's subtly separating herself from Wallis Simpson. Camilla is now at a turning point. Either resist Anne's influence and run the danger of creating further tension, or retreat tactfully and maintain your dignity while creating a seed. As she handles this public snub with the poise and fortitude that have characterized her turbulent royal career, her response has the potential to reshape her legacy and the delicate balance of the monarchy. The complex set of regulations known as Royal Protocol, which governs the British monarchy, is more than just a manual for proper ceremonial behavior. It's a battlefield where tradition, loyalty, and power clash. Princess Anne's unwavering commitment to this unspoken ethic is at the center of the issue over Camilla's exclusion from the Balmoral photo session. Anne, who is renowned for her painstaking adherence to tradition and hierarchy, made the deliberate choice to exclude Queen Camilla from the September 2025 image, which was based on the strict framework of the monarchy. Camilla is ranked higher than Anne as queen consort according to the order of precedence, which determines how royals are ranked in official contexts. However, as a blood royal, Anne has a subtle but important influence in private family matters, which she has skillfully used to highlight ancestry above earned titles. This dynamic is not brand new. When Camilla proposed a small detour during a joint engagement in Hampshire in 2024, Anne's insistence on following the rules made headlines, with publications such as the Daily Express highlighting her unwillingness to compromise. That incident reinforced the importance of blood links and hinted at the Balmoral snub, in which Anne's idea of a core family photo session left out Camilla. There are many historical analogies. According to a 2020 Quora discussion about royal protocol, Anne's strictness did not cause any heartache. However, the stakes have increased by 2025. The Photoshoot prohibition is an outward expression of a private division, indicating that Camilla is still seen as an outsider by Anne despite her status. As evidenced by social media posts on sites like X in August 2025, Camilla's name was purportedly removed from a decree on royal patrons in 2024, setting a precedent for this removal and suggesting a trend of marginalization. The ramifications of Anne's protocol-driven choice extend well beyond the photo session. It might make Camilla feel even more alone in the family and undermine her hard-won right to be queen. According to palace sources, she is caught off guard by Anne's influence over Charles, despite her public calm, which is demonstrated by her solo appearances at events like a literary festival in October 2025. The snub makes it more difficult for the king to put up a united face because he is torn between his wife's role and his sister's traditionalism. The public's view of a broken monarchy is heightened by posts on X from September 2025, when discussions about tradition versus fairness are fueled by hot hashtags like Hacked and Vasila. The stability of the monarchy is threatened by the wider effects. Camilla's allies, such as her kids Tom and Laura Parker BS, who have subtly assimilated into royal circles, may become resentful of Anne's focus on blood royals. Charles's idea of a contemporary inclusive monarchy could be undermined if this pattern of exclusion persists, since it runs the risk of establishing a hierarchy in which consorts are constantly marginalized. William, the future king, must make a decision: to stop more rifts, support unity, or align with Anne's purist position. Denmark and other European monarchy have welcomed flexibility by letting younger royals take a back seat. But every mistake is magnified by Britain's international attention. Despite having its roots in tradition, Anne's protocol playbook might unintentionally raise concerns about the monarchy's continued relevance in a time when diversity is valued more highly than strict hierarchy. This one act might reshape royal dynamics for years to come as the aftermath develops, putting the institution's capacity to adjust or crumble under the weight of its own regulations to the test. The ramifications of Princess Anne's purported choice to keep Queen Camilla out of the Balmoral photo session extend well beyond the Scottish Highlands, highlighting the British monarchy's vulnerable position in a world that is changing quickly. The institution's battle to strike a balance between history and relevance as the House of Windsor negotiates this difficult period is profoundly reflected in this single photograph, which features Anne at its center with Camilla noticeably absent. It remains to be seen if this split would mean a return to bloodline purity, or if it will require the monarchy to rethink its role in the modern era. As of October 2025, King Charles III's reign is in its third year and has been characterized by his vision of a more efficient, cost-effective, relatable, and streamlined monarchy. However, it appears from the photo session that this vision is beginning to fade. Charles has been largely dependent on his sister Anne for stability since he was diagnosed with cancer in 2024. Her daring action, however, runs the risk of destroying the harmony he craves. His loyal companion Camilla has proved essential to his rule. Her omission, however, highlights unsolved issues from her contentious background. According to a Telegraph article from September 2025, palace insiders suggest that Charles was conflicted, secretly regretting the snub to his wife while authorizing the photoshoot to prevent a public argument. A king trapped between institutional duties and personal loyalty is shown by this delicate balancing act, a conflict that might influence his legacy. The wider ramifications are significant. In keeping with her long-standing devotion to tradition, Anne's prominent position in the picture with William and Catherine on either side suggests a return to giving blood royals priority. But it runs the danger of offending people like Camilla, who have fought to update the monarchy's reputation. In contrast to Catherine's 72% favor rating, Camilla's approval ratings had dropped to 45%, according to a YouGov poll conducted in late September 2025. Debate abounds on social media, from Instagram comments to X posts. While Anne's traditionalism is praised by some, others view it as a small-time power struggle. This gap reflects a more significant social issue. Is it possible for a monarchy with centuries-old hierarchies to appeal to a populace that values merit and inclusivity? As heir, Prince William must make a crucial decision. His idea of a contemporary monarchy that prioritizes environmental and mental health issues fits in better with Catherine's friendly demeanor than Anne's strict procedure. However, he is pragmatic like Anne, and their strong relationship, which was established amid Catherine's health issues in 2024, fortifies their partnership. According to a Cosmopolitan article from October 2025, William's silence on Camilla's banishment raises the possibility that he implicitly supports Anne's position that puts a simplified future ahead of family peace. But doing so runs the danger of offending Camilla's followers, especially her kids, who have subtly assimilated into the royal community. A mistake could increase public distrust, which has already been heightened by previous health crises and scandals. Monarchies in Europe, such as Denmark and Sweden, provide a contrast, with younger royals renouncing their positions to focus on their personal life. But Britain's international prominence magnifies every choice. The photoshoot is reminiscent of James Earl of Wessex's more subdued intersection of institutional need and individual preference. Both instances show a monarchy at a watershed. Will it adopt a more expansive, inclusive model or adhere to tradition, as Anne suggests? Whether Camilla backs off from her public responsibilities or steps up, her response might pressure William, which could change the royal roster. Beyond the boundaries of the palace, the photoshoot's echoes touch on existential issues of the function of the monarchy. The notion of lifetime service seems more and more out of date in a time when individual freedom is celebrated. However, the monarchy of Britain, with its unmatched historical significance, cannot merely imitate Scandinavian models. Every decision, from James's impending choice to Anne's audacious exclusion, makes headlines around the world. Will Charles intervene, or will Camilla back off as rumors grow? The organization is in a precarious position. Far from being a simple family portrait, this picture serves as a mirror reflecting the spirit of the monarchy and compels a balance between tradition and modernity. The world awaits the next frame, in which the crowns will be defined by the harmony between obligation and inclusion.